Hey, I'm Destiny. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And on this channel, we discuss topics such as entrepreneurship, business, and side hustles. And in today's video, we're taking it back to the basics with how to start a business in 2022. And this video is for people who are looking to start a business and looking for different tips and steps that they can take. So I'm going to break this video down for if I was to start a business in 2022, the different steps I would take. So starting with number one, you have to choose your product or service that you want to offer. And when choosing the product or service you want to offer, you want to start looking into the different trainings that you have to take, the certifications, if you need a business license for it. And during this phase, you want to start looking to why you're actually doing it. So is it a passion of yours? Is there a need for it? Are you solving a problem? And you also have to go into, is what you're doing actually profitable? How are you going to fund this business? How much money do you need to get started for this business? So you want to look into all of this in the beginning stages of when you're choosing your product or service. That's going to take you to your next step. The next thing that I like to do after I already have the product or the service that I'm going to be doing, I take a look into my competition. So I start looking into what my competition is doing, what my competitive edge would be, how I'm going to be different from them. I'll take a look at their prices to see how we can remain competitive. So I'm looking at the whole picture of what my competition is doing. Is most of my competition going out of business right now? Because that right there is going to tell me that maybe this is not the right industry at this time. But you know, with some industries, it could be based on they're not transitioning fast enough into what the new trends are. So you want to take a look into all of that, because primarily, like, you don't want to go into a business if everybody else is going out of business that are doing the exact same thing. The next thing that I'm going to do is figure out, how am I actually going to fund this business? Am I going to use my personal funds from my job? Will I need to pick up another side hustle? Will I have to ask my family or friends for money? Will I get investors? Will I try and find different grants? Am I going to enter some pitch competitions? These are all the things you need to take into account when it comes to starting your new business. And especially when it comes to funding, you need to have a very clear direction of how much money it's going to cost to get started for this business. Because that's going to tell you how much you need to actually get funded. What skills do you already have to offer to your business that you might not have to put into your budget right away? So you want to take a look into all of this when you're starting off. The next thing you're going to want to do is pick a name for your business. And what I love to do when it comes to picking names, I typically stay away from names that are commonly used all the time. I stay away from names that, let's say if I'm using the name Chick, like, I'll stay away from the tricky spellings of the word chick. So that way, if people are searching me, they don't have a hard time, and then the correct spelling might pop up first. And I don't want to go through that, especially starting off as a new business owner. Once I have my business name figured out, that's when I'm going directly to the trademark website. And on the trademark website, you want to start searching. And I'm going to drop the name of the website below so you can already have access to it. And on the trademark website, that is where you're going to want to start searching different variations of your exact name to see if it's already trademarked. Because you don't want to start a business and then down the line someone finds your name, says that it's going to cause confusion between the two brands, and next thing you know, you're receiving a cease and desist order. Because my sister had something very similar happen to her, to where the person said that her Instagram name was too similar, and the other lady did own the trademark, so she sent it over to Instagram, and Instagram took my sister's page down. So you want to avoid that at all costs. And once your name has passed the trademark test, now you want to take your name to see if it's available on all of the different social media channels. So an easy way to do this is do name checker, because with your social media names, you want your brand name to just be at your brand name. You don't want to have to put 1, 2, underscore. You don't want to have to put any of that at the end. You want your brand name to be seamless across all of your social media channels. So you're going to use name checker to make sure that that name is available on all of the different platforms. And once your name has passed those 2 steps, now you're going to go ahead and get the domain. So I typically use GoDaddy. I go to GoDaddy.com and I search the domain that I'm trying to use. You also want to have your domain name to match your social media channels. So you're going to do www.whateveryourdomain.com, or they also have different unique ones that you can choose from. But whatever one makes it easier for your customer to find you, makes it easier for them to search you in Google. I pretty much don't have a preference when it comes to using the different creative methods that they have. What they have, I believe, is like .city, .creative, like all the different new ones that they have, which I typically always go for .com, because .com is the easiest for everyone to remember, and you want to make it as easy as possible for your customers. The next thing that you want to do for your business is you want to decide what your legal entity is going to be. So do you want to be a sole proprietor? Are you going to be a LLC? Are you going to be incorporated? And I say for this step, depending on if you have different partners, you're going to be dividing the equity in the company differently. Sometimes it's best to just seek a professional for this portion. If you want to do it yourself, that's fine. But I'll always say for this portion, seek a professional. But if you're doing just a sole proprietor, a single member LLC, you can go ahead and do those on your own. And another thing in this step that I'm going to say is go ahead and grab your EIN, which is your employer identification number, and go ahead and set up your Duns & Bradstreet number, because even if you're not doing it right away, but down the line, you might want to start establishing your business credit. So the next thing you're going to want to do is open up your business bank account. And when you open up your business bank account, you're going to use the name of your business. So if you went and got an incorporated, if you got an LLC, if you got a DBA, you're going to use the name of your business along with your EIN number. So once you open up your business bank account, now you're going to be able to separate your funds. And it's very important to separate your personal and your business funds. That way, any business expenses that you have, you're going to use that exact same account. And it's going to make it a lot easier to track the different funds that you have coming in and going out, all of your expenses, if you just keep it separated in that one account. Because a lot of times we see people who like to pay for things with their personal, then they'll pay for things with their business. Then when tax season rolls around, and it comes time to see how much they actually made, how much they actually spent, it's a whole lot of confusion. And then they end up finding out that they've been losing money all year because their money wasn't organized in the same spot. So you want to avoid that altogether. So the next thing you want to do is start establishing your brand. And a lot of people think that when it comes to brand, your brand is just your name, your logo, your colors, posted on Instagram, but no. We are going to establish our whole brand. And when we say our whole brand, we're going to start off, okay, we have our name. Now we're going to look at our mission statements. What does our company value? What is our brand voice? Because especially your brand voice when it comes to connecting with your audience. So a lot of people get the text messages and the emails from Fashion Nova, and it has like all these crazy different sayings, and people say it's unprofessional, but it's speaking directly to their audience. So you want to create the exact same, but not the exact same voice as Fashion Nova, but a brand voice for your own business. Like my business, like you know, like you get some hairstylists who will say, hey boo, hey girls, hey ladies, like all of that is in their brand voice. It's how you talk to people. If you're going to be vulgar and your clientele is used to that, then that's your brand voice. But if you're nice, sweet, you say fun things, you like to joke around, that's a part of your brand voice. But you want to get that all figured out for your brand. And then you want to start looking into your logo colors. Do you want to have a red logo? Do you want to have a purple logo? Do you have a green logo? And one of the things that I love to do when I'm building different brands is I like to look at the color wheel to see what these different colors mean. So one of the colors that I have for my brand, the Traveling Hair Boss, is I typically use green a lot. And I specifically use green because it connected to my brand as far as when you think of the Traveling Hair Boss, you think of money. Travel, you think of grass, nature, you think of green. So you want to be able to explain that as well when you choose your brand colors, and it's going to make it easier when you send all of this information over to your logo designer. Now they have a clear picture for your brand. And another thing, when you get your logo made, you also want to get a mood board. It's going to have the exact hex codes that you need for your business. So those exact colors that you need that you're going to put on all of your branding, marketing materials, so everything looks perfect across the board. Like if you see like different brands, they like, let's say you see Coca-Cola, they don't switch to red. They make sure it's always the same red. So if you have red in your logo, you want to get the exact hex number for that red so you can always have the same red and you're not all over the place. If you have a certain type of leaf that you like to use for your brand, and you're going to have that in your mood board so that anytime you get any flyers, different designs created, you can always have that. You'll just send that over to the graphic designer and they'll already know. And then also on your mood board, what I like to do is I like to have like different themes that I love for my business. So mine, I typically have a money theme, and then it's very professional. So I'll have a lady sitting down on her laptop and that symbolizes like just the different things that I want to incorporate in my business. Like as far as photo shoots, I know that this is exactly what I'm going for. And you can create this using Canva. I use Pinterest a lot for it. So yeah, branding, I'm gonna do a whole nother video on branding, because branding is its own topic alone. But just starting off, those are just the basic things that you need to know. And anything that you see in this video, if you want to learn a little bit more about it, you can also search it on Google, watch a couple more YouTube videos on just a specific topic, because I'm gonna drop all the different sections that we have in this video in the comment section. Well, not in the comment section, in the description section. So the next thing you're gonna wanna do is determine how you're gonna distribute your products. So is it gonna be business to business? Is it gonna be business to consumer? So you wanna take those things into account. Are you gonna have just an online store? Are you gonna open up a storefront? Are you gonna just be dropping off your products to different businesses? Are you gonna be giving your product to different service providers? All of that has to be taken into account, because it's gonna be very important when it comes to determining your next steps, which leads us into the next step. How are you gonna package your products? Do you need custom packaging? Are you going to package it in boxes? Are you going to use poly mailers? Do you need a pamphlet to go with it? Do you need business cards, thank you cards? So all of that is going to be determined by the way you plan to distribute your products. You won't necessarily need custom poly mailers, boxes, if you're just going to be selling your products out of a storefront. So all of that has to be taken into consideration during this step. So the last thing that I like to do is determine, how am I going to launch my products? How am I going to get the word out about them? Am I going to have a business shower? Which business showers have become fairly new and fairly popular, is when someone from your family or friends announces that they're having a new business and you guys all come together, bring supplies. And that's a cool launch strategy. And then another way is like, are you going to have a fancy photo shoot to announce that you're coming out with a new business? Are you going to create an email list to send out news blasts for your new business? Are you going to create a social media campaign? Are you going to have a commercial, which commercials aren't as popular right now, but you can do like reels, TikToks, make it a fun social media commercial. So just have something. And I'm going to do another video specifically for how to launch your business in 2022. So that's going to be coming up in the next couple weeks. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, drop some comments in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because we're dropping videos every week now. And yeah, and don't forget to connect with me. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat. I'm Destiny Adams on all platforms. So yeah, go ahead and stay tuned for the next video.